This video is going to be how you divide a complex number. So, dividing complex numbers. Let's say we've got this number, say 2 plus 3i, and we're going to divide it by 4 minus 3i. Well, the first thing we want to do is write it like 2 plus 3i over 4 minus 3i. Write it as a fraction. Dividing and fractions really are the same thing. And the key here is that we have to get our I out of the denominator. It's bad form to have a square root in the denominator, and as we've said before, I equals the square root of -1. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of 4 minus 3i. And the conjugate is simply the opposite of 4 minus 3i, or in this case we have 4 plus 3i. Now, when we do that, all we need to do is multiply the denominators, multiply the numerators times each other. Now what that means is we're going to say, okay, well, 2 plus 3i times 4 plus 3i, and multiply them. So we have 3i times 3i, that's 9i squared. 3i times 2 is 6i. 4 times 3i is 12i, and 4 times 2 is 8. And if we add these up, we get 8 plus 18i plus 9i squared. But remember, we've said in other videos that I squared equals -1. So we have 8 plus 18i plus 9 times -1, which is 8 plus 18i minus 9. Well, 8 minus 9 is -1 plus 18i. So we're going to have -1 plus 18i. And now we're going to multiply these conjugates. And when we multiply conjugates, something really cool happens, is that our I terms are in fact eliminated. So look at what happens here. 3i times -3i is going to be -9i squared. 3i times 4 is 12i. 4 times -3i is -12i, and 4 times 4 is 16. So I get 16, 12i minus 12i is 0, and then I have minus 9 times -1, which gives me 16 plus 9, and that's 25. So my answer ends up being -1 25th plus 18i over 25. And since I can't simplify either one of these fractions, I'm done. And that's dividing a complex number. Multiply the numerator, denominator by the conjugate, and then simplify if you can. This example, I couldn't simplify. And let's see, what if we come up with another one where we can simplify? Of course, I'm making these up as I go along, so it's going to be hard to tell, but I'll tell you what, I'll make another video where you can simplify further. So let's call this one Dividing Complex Numbers 1, and stay tuned for Dividing Complex Numbers 2.